And you're firing off the content today, is that right?
Yes. I was hoping some other foreigners might jump in, but if they join in, they join in. But we'll just assume that no one is going to jump in. So we'll just...
We've got one other person on the call.
Who? Who's he?
Say Sam's iPhone 5.
Oh,
Sam. Hi, Jerry.
hello. You jumped in. I didn't hear you jump in. There you go.
Just snuck in quietly.
You must have chimed in at the same time as someone else. There you are. Okay. Hi, Sam. Thanks for joining. So we'll assume that no one else is going to jump in on the call, and we'll just get started. So let me just close down this participants panel now that it's in the way of me seeing my own screen. Can you guys see me, by the way?
We can.
All right.
Yes.
All right. That's fine. I just didn't know if you could or not. I can't see my mouse. That's the problem. It just keeps disappearing. Oh, I just hit escape and it went. All right. Well, we'll officially start then. So thank you for coming to the All for One, One for All webinar tonight. Tonight's topic is on planning your marketing for 2020. And I am Jerry Penny from Nurture Queen Videos. And I just want to talk about what's your 2020 vision in regards to your marketing. So just quickly, one thing about All for One, One for All, we just are a community currently of a handful of people, and we are all about just sharing our knowledge and our ideas and our IP, whatever we want to share with each other, with no sales pitch. We're just here to help each other grow in business. So that's why we invite people into our community, into our group that we've got. We've got about 23 members so far, but we're just trying to create content on a weekly basis, and so that there's always something different that you can learn about in business. So being the end of the year, we thought we would cover off marketing for next year. So it is not too late to plan your marketing for next year, and I would suggest that you do get started on it. Now, again, the controls are covering up my words. No, sorry. I'm going to try and move these controls somewhere down the bottom. That might help. There we are. Now I can read my screen. All right. So the first thing, I'm going to start with another number one, okay? Forget this one for the moment. We'll go back to that so you don't get distracted. The first one I want to cover off is just to define your marketing goals and just write them down, what they are, basically. So just like you would business goals, I want you to actually figure out what a couple of your marketing goals are, and maybe only have 3 goals. I think that's a really great number to start with, or plan with for the year, and then have a whole bunch of strategies beneath those goals. So, you know, one of your goals could just be to get Facebook Messenger bot up and running, and then you'd have all these strategies behind what you're doing behind that. So please do start with a goal in mind, or 3 goals, and then plan some strategies below that. So the next thing you want to do is to do a content audit. So you really want to understand what has worked for you in the past, if you have done anything at all, but most people have done some kind of marketing in their lives and in their business. So just do a little bit of an audit as to understand what was your top performing content, what was the lowest performing, you know, what was the frequency of it, what results did you get for that, what kind of keywords were you already ranking for if you're doing a bit of SEO and things like that. So just do an audit to understand what was the picture of 2019 and how could it look better in 2020. All right, because you can't do a plan unless you know where you're coming from. And feel free to jump in with ideas or questions at any time. All right, so I'm going to talk quite a bit about content. So content marketing. So, effective content as effective as it can be, you most likely won't get a return on investment if you've got no target. Okay. So without goals, your marketing activities lose focus and it becomes difficult to judge its success or failure. So in most cases, businesses use content marketing to achieve these types of goals, like we said before. So like brand awareness, lead acquisition, lead nurturing, customer acquisition. Does anyone want to volunteer maybe what they think one of their marketing goals would be for 2020?
I might jump in there,
Jerry.
I would like to get a series of sales funnels set up. Yep.
Great. And use it. Is that your big goal, do you think? Is that one of your big goals?
I think that's the biggest goal. All the other stuff will kind of work around that.
Yeah. Okay. So then you just need to figure out the strategies that will help you achieve that goal and the tactics as well. So,
yeah.
All right. Anyone else got a good marketing goal for next year?
Yes, I haven't done a lot of LinkedIn, and I've just started moving into the LinkedIn space. So that's going to be one of my vehicles. I'm looking at getting 10 corporate or large, big business customers next year.
Yeah.
And I'll be doing that through LinkedIn.
Yeah. Fabulous. Good goal to have. Good place to be. All right. So one of the other things you want to do is just carry out a bit of audience research. So, you need to know exactly who you're targeting with your content. So, hello, welcome to anyone that has just chimed in. We are talking about our marketing goals and content goals for 2020. Say hello if you want to. I can't see who chimed in. You want to know who you're trying to deliver content to, what type of content is their favorite, and feel free to ask your audience what they like to see, because when you ask, they often will respond. Do they expect formal or informal content style, and what types of content should you create and what channels should you be using? So by capturing these pieces of information, you'll be carrying out some extensive audience research pretty much. So after you've done your research, you should have more details about who your ideal customer is and what they expect from you, what they want from you, what they want to learn from you, etc. So has anyone got any questions about doing a bit of audience research? I'll go on to the next one. All right, so determine the type of content. Visual is obviously the way to go, but it doesn't mean that it's the only thing. This is a report here that said that 54% of consumers expect videos from businesses. I didn't make that up just because I'm in the video world.
Sorry,
yeah.
Can I just check in? Are we meant to be seeing your screen at the moment?
Yeah, can't you see it?
No.
Oh, can anyone else see it? What are you seeing?
Yep, I can see it.
Oh, okay. Are you on your phone, really? Ross?
I am.
Oh, don't know. As long as everyone else can see it.
That's all right.
Let's see. It's saying new share down the bottom, but...
Look, if everybody else is seeing it, that's fine.
It's sharing my desktop now.
I can see you, Jerry.
You can see the PowerPoint screen?
Yeah, by PowerPoint and you.
Okay. All right. How do I get out of there? All right.
Okay, found it. I've swiped backwards and forwards until I found it.
You have to be on...
Yeah, different view.
Yeah, you have to be on full screen usually. Otherwise, it does disappear. So...
Cool. Got it. Thank you.
Thanks for that question, Ross. So what are the other types of content you could be doing besides video? You've got your infographics, which is your sort of your Pinterest style of stuff. Not as popular these days because, why do an infographic when you could turn that into a video, really? but they still have their place. You've got videos, you've got podcasts, you've got webinars like this, you've got presentations, face-to-face, online. But don't forget your blogs as well, because there are people that will only want to read written content, and you want to appease to all of your audience types. So the people that love the kinesthetic, the people that just love audio, the people that just love to read. And, you know, as I've always said so many times before, is that you should just multi-purpose your content. So, for example, if you start with a video, you might be really natural at just talking on video and you don't like writing. So just make a few minute video, and the next thing you know, you transcribe that and you've got 500 words, and you've also got an audio that you could add it to a podcast segment or something like that. So always be thinking about the different types of content that you can deliver throughout the year. And I would plan to have a bit of everything. So you might say, okay, I'm going to do 12 blogs a year. I'm going to do one video a week. So I was talking with Alistair, who's in this group, but two of the group can't be here tonight. And Alistair is going to make, we're going to make 4 videos a month for him. And so every 12 videos, he plans to turn that into a book. So those videos will form chapters or ideas, which will form longer chapters, and then he'll ideally turn that into a book. And he says, based off that, Jerry, I should be able to write 4 books a year. I said, that's a pretty big marketing goal to have, but that's what he's putting it out there. So I'm keeping you accountable, Alistair McDonald, who's not here tonight.
I like that.
Yeah.
Just quickly, how long are the videos going to be?
Well, it depends on the platform. So if you're making things for YouTube, you can be almost as long as you want if people are going to stick around. For Facebook, 90 seconds, 2 minutes. They keep pushing at the moment. Every time you post a video, it says, Facebook loves longer video contents. In fact, videos over 3 minutes are doing really well. So consider that. And it's bullshit. They're just trying to put advertising on the platform. So they want people to put 3 minute plus videos on there so they can throw ads on them. So just ignore that. They're lying. keep going with the shorter videos on Facebook, Instagram, or normal Instagram is only a minute. It'll cut it off at a minute, whereas Instagram TV, you can go for like 15 minutes, and it just depends on the platform. And you should always be planning what types of videos are for what platform, basically. So yeah, LinkedIn,
cool.
just whatever, couple of minutes, again, like Facebook. So but you can certainly put your longer content on your websites. Quite often people, I think, you'll think of so many examples where you get on a landing page and they're selling you something, and the next thing you know, you've watched a 15-minute video before you know it. And you're like, wow, why did I stick around that long? Because, there was some deal at the end, or you had to watch the whole thing to get to the next thing in the sales cycle, but you're already hooked. So you stick around and you watch it. So longer videos do work in some cases. So yeah, especially to keep people's interest. So yeah, no worries. All right. So this is just a little bit of a graph that I found about what people do prefer. So 54% video, 46% email and newsletters. That really surprises me because I can't stand that kind of stuff. I just delete everything that I get in an email. Social images, social videos, blog articles, and PDF type attachments, like LinkedIn articles and things like that. So video clearly is the king there. And I guess email and newsletters are winning out as well because it's the most popular form of stuff that people send out. And even though they might get such low read rates, at the end of the day, it's whoever puts out the most wins. So
I think also I'll jump in there, Jerry.
Yeah.
Maybe also the videos might get a bit of a boost through email, because if you send a link and then people click on it, they go to a video. I don't know if that could also...
it could very well tie into that. And
Yeah.
look, I would suggest that maybe that's the difference between videos and social videos. So videos could be off websites as well as through emails, which would be a direct to website click anyway, versus watching videos on social. So it's even interesting that it says social images is above social videos, but I think that'll continue to overtake that in time.
Cool.
Yeah, so you really want to create a content calendar. Consistency is key, obviously. I always suggest just doing a monthly calendar and literally planning out the different times of the year and think, okay, what happens? Does anything different happen in January versus March versus April? You know, there's Easter and Mother's Day and Father's Day if your business is affected by things like that. All those sort of key dates during the year for accountants or whatever it might be. Okay, there's always going to be information that comes out around BAS time and end of financial year and all this kind of stuff. When I worked in, what was it? The Chartered Institute of Purchasing and Supply, we provided education for people in procurement. So there was some really strong content calendars there because it was always based around when the courses were coming out and what time of years those things had to do. So it was very strict content calendars around when everything had to be out by to market that course to people. So plan everything out well in advance. I've seen plenty of people already put up their 2020 events that they're running next year. So there's no reason why you couldn't, if you were doing public events, you know, have an aim to run an event once a quarter or something. Just set those dates now, because you can change them later if you want to, but you're more likely to stick to them and actually get them done. If you say to people, I'm running 4 events next year, just start with a small number. And, you know, you really will start to achieve some good milestones if you plan out these things. So, you know, some other things to put in the marketing calendar, you know, who's responsible for the content if you've got a team. Sorry, I keep going dark because another monitor keeps just lighting up my face. There we go. Yeah, so that's a big thing for my content calendar, is which team members are going to be doing which content. At which stage of the sales funnel. So that's like important for you, Harsha. The content formats. So whether you're doing, like I said, 12 videos a year or 52 videos a year, and pictures and quotes, and, you know, and then there's the channel as well. So what am I going to do on Instagram versus Facebook versus LinkedIn? The list goes on. So as you can see, it could be a very comprehensive, filled up calendar. And I would highly recommend doing a color-coded one. Even if you just print out some nice big A3s, you can do it all electronically, of course, but maybe some nice big A3s, and it's got a calendar for each month, and you have some color-coded systems going on there. So, and also, you know, the due dates, the publishing dates, and like I said before, the promotion channels, what you're going to use. I can't read the content down the bottom because my little thing is blocking it. So you can read that. Whatever it says. Can't remember. All right. So you want to plan for your content promotion, of course. So, you know, creating content is one part of content marketing. The other part is promoting your content. So many experts will tell you to spend the same amount of time for the creation and the promotion, but a lot of people, including myself, say you should spend about 20% of your time creating content and 80% of your time promoting it, because there is so many different ways and hows and whats and ifs and buts that you can be doing with the promotion side of it. So try and keep the 80-20 rule going there, but it just depends. There's no point creating content and then not making the most out of promoting it, basically, and putting it out there in all these places. So Even part of your calendar, going back to that, should be that you can even say, okay, where can I repurpose this content later on? So you might say, I'm going to put it on LinkedIn in February, but I'm going to put it on Facebook in March, and, etc. And when can I change up videos? When could I make a shorter version of this or a longer version of this, and things like that? Where could I share this blog post versus where could I share this video? And the list goes on. So, while you have a plan for creating content, you need one for promoting it too. So, like I said, there's so many platforms to promote your content, and you should pick the best ones to reach your audience. I've repeated that there. There we go. I did this at the last minute. Can you tell? Any questions about planning for content promotion? No?
Just a quick one. So
Yes.
I guess you're not going to get it right the first time, right?
No.
So what do you suggest? Where do you draw the line between perfection and something doesn't look quite right? Do you still go out with it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Just do it, Harsha.
Bite the bullet.
Just get something out. Either if you find out it's got a mistake, you just say publicly, "Yeah, I was just testing you all to see if you were paying attention."
Yeah. Cool.
Big deal.
Yeah.
I put out this video once, and after I put it up, I realized how terrible it was, and so I made the post all about, I've made at least 5 mistakes in this video. Please list what you think those 5 mistakes were. And it was one of my biggest performing videos on LinkedIn. So,
yeah,
talk about your mistakes if you want to. Of course, it depends what kind of industry you're in, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Just start with something. And it's people that are trying to make everything perfect that never end up getting anything out. It's like the person that can never start a business because they say, well, I don't have my business cards printed and I don't have a website built yet. Just go out and start your business, Yeah. So get something out. It doesn't have to be perfect, not by far.
Well, thank you.
So these are some different, platforms for content to get you thinking about the different types of things you can be doing. So it's not just social media we're talking about here. There's guest posts, there's guest blogging, there's guests on podcasts, guests on videos. There's so many places you can be a guest speaker. You can get into like the Meetup Mafia and go and offer to be speakers at other people's events. There's just such a range of things that you can do to increase your exposure. Obviously, there's your social media, but just please pick the channels that you think are going to work for you. Not all of them will suit you. Some will suit you better than others. And it's going to be, at the end of the day, it's going to be, where is your target audience hanging out? If your target audience isn't hanging out on Instagram, then there's no point being there. And if your business is not visual, there's no point in being there. Pretty much anyone can do something visual, sort of. But, you really want to think about, where's my target audience hanging out and what do they like? What do they like to see? What can I make that they're going to like, basically, and eat up the material that I'm giving them. Don't forget about emails. Even though, I can truly admit that I have 12,000 unopened emails in my total inbox count. Of about 10 different email addresses. I occasionally read an email, not very often. I read the important ones, but I certainly don't read the spam, but, or things that I have subscribed to. So, don't forget about it. Even if you've just got an email list of 10 people, it doesn't matter. You're actually probably going to get a much higher read rate from the people that deal with you directly versus the people that have never dealt with you before. In fact, I got an email today actually, and what amazed me was I actually read it because the subject line was, "I'm taking you off my email list." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, why?" And he knew that I never opened his emails. And he said, so I'm going to focus on the people that are actually paying attention. And I thought, yeah, that's fair enough. So that's an email that I actually read. So there you go. Forums, not as popular these days, but they still do exist. And advertising, obviously, there's so many different types of advertising on all the platforms that you can do. But, you know, one of the most important things is just the frequency of what you're doing things and planning that frequency. Don't just at the end of each month go, oh shit, I haven't posted anything this month. You know, I better put up a post. I'm guilty of doing that myself. Every now and then I'm like, oh, I want to post 3 things today, but I haven't posted anything all week. So you sort of just get a little bit content heavy on one day. But, you know, when you have a good plan and you've got good people helping you to deliver that plan, it pretty much can just go to schedule then. So
how much of a buffer of content do you suggest? Like a few weeks or a month or
a lot of people plan like a whole month at a time or a week at a time. If you're starting from scratch, I would just start building stuff and having a few weeks up your sleeve. I guess it depends on how often you think you're going to get to it, but even just planning the types of things. So if you commit to doing 1 blog a month and write down what those 12 topics are going to be on, and then you can write them the week before you want to put them out or the day before or whatever. And you can commit to doing, you know, 1 video a week. Okay, what are those topics going to be? So in the case of Alistair, when we meet up in January, we're going to film the first 4, and we're just going to film 4 once a month. We may even film up to 8 on that first go, just so we've got 8 under our belt. And there's a few more ready to go because the post-production takes a bit longer time. And what was the question again?
I guess how much of a buffer you suggest?
Yeah. Just hold on, I've got to tell my son something. Yes.
Yeah.
Go. Hold on. No, I'm not giving you more time limit. Go to bed. No. Go to bed. Mummy's working. Go away. No. Hold on. I've got to give more time limit. Jeez. Things you do for kids, hey? Oh, I told them, you're not allowed to bother me tonight. Mummy's working. I can't do it, Levi. Here we go.
Is there a lock on the screen, is there?
There is when it runs out, yes.
Oh, I'll have to find out what that software is.
It's just the screen time on the iPad.
Oh.
Things you have to do. All right, back to it. Measure your return on investment. Okay, so to get any result from content marketing, you have to execute a campaign. After taking action, you also need to track your campaign's performance. This is one of the things that people hate doing the most, or they just don't do it at all. You have to be pretty regimented to be doing this and usually know what you're doing as well. So quite often these things are managed by someone, for example, that might be running your social media campaigns, running your ad campaigns, because most people who do proper advertising have an ad manager to manage that for them. So you're usually getting your results from them, as well as if you're paying someone for SEO, you'll get those monthly reports and things like that. But what you want to just be thinking about is what are the things that you can do for your own, you know, for the things that you are doing yourself and not paying someone to do. So, you know, like you need to create different metrics to track performance for your campaigns, and the metrics that you track will depend on your goals and which metrics indicate brand awareness, which metrics show lead acquisition. You know, that's up to you, and you need to kind of set these things for each one. And by doing this, you'll be quickly able to see if something is working and if it isn't working, basically. So I just wanted to show you some examples of some metrics, because it really got me thinking about it too. So I had a list of about 50 different things, but I've just kept it to 12 here. So is there 12? I'm missing the bottom of the screen. All right, so some examples of metrics include organic search traffic, referral traffic, so where you've got your website listed on other people's sites, or other people's marketing that you may be doing, so joint marketing efforts and things like that. And then you've got your social traffic, so the traffic that comes to your website directly from the social channels. All these kinds of things can be told to you from Google Analytics. And then you've got your social followers as well. So nothing to do with Google Analytics, but what in a year, how many followers did you gain? How many more new likes? Things like that. The number of direct traffic. So that's people actually typing in your address from the address bar, as well as links from emails, clicks from emails, and things like that, where you might say, go to my website, click. It's a direct click to your website. And then you want to also measure new visitors versus returning visitors, which you can do with things like remarketing campaigns. So you know how many people are coming back to your website, what they're doing, and everything like that. A really good thing on Google Analytics is to check out the behavior flow. So what people are actually doing when they're on your website. So this includes things like the hotspots and how long they're spending here and there and what they're doing and how many clicks it took them to get through to there and blah, 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 stuff like that. As well as the user demographic and the user location, if that kind of stuff is important to you. And your search rankings by keywords. So again, if you're paying someone to do SEO for you, or even if you are doing it yourself, which is possible to do that, then just knowing how well that you rank for certain things, such as Sam, you could be naturopath Sandringham or something like that, and seeing if you rank at all for that keyword search. You do want to be found in the top few, preferably. Then you've got your domain authorities and your page authorities. So that's a domain authority is the quality inbound links that are coming to your website, your domain as a whole. So this is all SEO because it's all links flying back to your site, because that's what gives your site authority when it's giving, when you're getting links from other places. And page authority is links to individual pages. So you might have a really high performing blog or a sales page or something like that. So that's the authority just on that page. And then you've got things like time spent on page, the session duration, things like that. One of the biggest things that, for example, that YouTube rewards you for is the time spent on platform. So if you ever hear of, they refer that to as called top time on platform. So it's kind of going off track here a little bit, but it makes you think about that. It's really important to these social channels that you're keeping them on that social channel. So YouTube always wants you to keep people on YouTube longer, so that you try and design your videos, for example, to go from one video to the next, to the next, to the next. It's not to get them to watch one video and go to your mailing list, because YouTube won't reward that. They want you to keep them on the platform as long as possible. And if it's your videos that are keeping them there, that's even more rewarding to you, and YouTube will show you even more. So just remember that when you're planning your content, yes, your ultimate marketing goal is to get people off the platform and onto your mailing list, preferably. But at the same time, with any platform, you're always rewarded for the more time that user spends on their platform. They stay on Facebook, they stay on LinkedIn, because you're creating engaging content for them to stay on that platform. So just always be thinking about that in the top of your mind is the top, okay? Time on platform. And can anyone read me out number 12 here? Because it's all covered up for me. Can anyone see
It's
it?
likes, shares, comments
That's right. Okay.
on
Like, shares.
social and blogs.
Yes. Okay. So it's just another metric that you can measure. So the number of likes that you've had, the number of views that you've had, the number of impressions, the number of shares. Just record all these things, maybe just once a month or something like that, because at least it does show you how you've grown throughout the year, and what you can keep doing to improve. Because again, if you're not measuring these things, you just don't know how successful they are. And that's why a lot of people give up on marketing campaigns, because they just say, oh, I wasn't successful. And it's like, well, then how did you measure it? And they're like, oh, I didn't. So, they'll just say, oh, I didn't get any new customers out of it. So, well, that's you sure about that? Maybe you did. Maybe you haven't actually asked where these people came from. So it's really, really important to measure. So that brings us to the end of tonight, right on time. I said it would only go to 8:40. So has anyone got any more questions? No. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us. If you're not a part of the All for One community, this is what we're about. We get on each Monday night. Next week, Alistair McDonald is talking about our group vision, and we actually are inviting other people to join us if they would like to, because it's not just about the 5 people that are currently part of who created All for One, but we've already created a bit of a vision. So what we're trying to do is set some strategies for 2020 about how we can make this community bigger and better. So Alistair is a business coach, and this is something that he's really good at, is helping set the vision for the group. And he'll be running that next Monday night. And so if you want to jump in on that, just use the same link again next week at 8 o'clock on a Monday night. And if you haven't joined our community, then you can search for All for One, One for All on Facebook, or just use that link below there, bit.ly/All for One community with the number 4. And that will get you into our Facebook group. You can just answer a few simple questions that you accept our huge list of terms and conditions to join, and you can be a part of it. So if there's no more questions, then we'll sign off for tonight. I hope you got something from that. Please just contact me if you've got any questions about any of those things and you want to explore them further. So have a great week, everyone, in the lead up to Christmas. And
thank you for your contribution tonight. It was great.
Thank you, Ross. Thank you, Harsha.
Thanks, Jerry.
And whoever else jumped on, there was someone else. Hello, Marley. There's a Marley on there.
Hi. Sorry, we've got a Frozen performance going on in the background, so I didn't want you to hear any of the.
You've got Frozen. I've just got a kid asking for more screen time, so it's all even Stevens around here. So I hope you heard some of that, Amali, when you jumped.
Yeah,
in.
I did. Yeah, I jumped. I think only 5 minutes in. So
okay, cool. I can show you the slides of what you missed. But it has been recorded tonight. And what we do is,
thank you.
I have a big backlog of things to upload into the group, but we do have all the content ready to load up there that we've been making over the past month. So anyone in the group can put up their hand to contribute to a Monday night webinar. Just like we do in BNI, we have a bit of a roster for who's talking each week. And if you ever want to contribute, just let us know. We just ask that you've been in a few of the webinars before, and then if you've got something good to talk about, we're happy to put you on the list of stuff to share. So thank you all and All for One for joining us, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Over and out for now.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.